Dragons! I just love saying it like that. Dragons! How do they stay alive for hundreds of years? I mean, think about this for a second. Adventurers are coming to get them and their loot, because we all know how dragons love to accumulate treasure, right? It's a thing. Or other such things. And assuming dragons are super intelligent, because they are kind of like the human equivalent of Lex Luthor from an early age, from a very early age. Actually, dragons are supposed to be way smarter than most of the other upright walking species, intelligent races, whatever you want to call them, beings. We'll say intelligent beings in the various multiverses of Dungeons and Dragons, Dragonbane, Earth Dawn, Fabula Ultima, wherever you're playing. And let's make it very well known that this is not setting specific necessarily, although I am going to be talking a lot about Dungeons and Dragons here. Oh, by the way, before I forget, welcome to Dragon Week. This idea was originally conceived of by Miss Ginny D and Mr. Pointy Hat, and it came out last year as Kraken Week and Monster Week, and it's all this week, April 21st through the 25th. It's a community effort on the part of various dungeon tubers, RPG tubers, TTRPG tubers. I'm not really sure what you call us all as a collective, but it's all one big community project here on YouTube where we talk about, in this case, dragons. Dragons, they live for hundreds upon hundreds of years. They survive by guile, by their superior physical capabilities, by their wits, and, of course, sometimes, just sometimes, by sheer luck. Now, magic plays a big part in dragons' lives, too. Let's not discount that. That will be coming up a lot in this particular video. First thing I want to talk about, though, dragons live hundreds of years in most games. They are way smarter, and nothing else, being alive for hundreds of years is going to make them a lot smarter, as is the case with various undead, such as vampires, liches, so on and so forth, and various other Dungeons & Dragons copyrighted IP monsters that I can't really name here. They don't live hundreds and hundreds of years by making stupid mistakes. And by that, I mean getting into frivolous fights over things that don't really matter. And if you think about it, if you're going to live for 1,000 years, you know you're going to live for 1,000 years, is accumulating gold coinage that big of a stinking deal? I mean, yeah, it's a status symbol amongst other dragons. Okay, I get that, right? But if you're going to live for, let's say, 1,000 years, some adventurers come along and steal my loot pile that I've been building up for centuries. I'm really going to get that bent out of shape about it. I mean, I can always accumulate more loot. Being alive, on the other hand, that's a little harder. So we want to stay alive, right? Just dragon logic. So that having been said, first step to dragon survival is not engaging in dumb fights. And how do they avoid dealing in dumb fights, you ask? Well, truthfully, it's because they're not going to build their lair, for example, with only one way in and one way out. Because why? Because that would get them killed. They're always going to have at least one, if not more than one escape route. In most of my games, dragons can shapeshift pretty much at will. It's something I've kind of homebrewed in over the years. It's not really an official rule in various games. Like, I just assume dragons can shapeshift. It's something, honestly, I kind of picked up from World of Warcraft, if I'm being truthful about it. I just always thought it was cool, because that way, one, you never know for sure who might be a dragon. Treasure Hoard is a crystal ball, or some other magical scrying device that lets them see in the immediate area around their lair. That means they're going to be pretty hard to surprise, unless they're like out hunting far, far away from their home. Chances are they're going to know what's coming. And they're going to know how many are coming. They're going to know what those people are capable of. But hey, again, trying to survive for hundreds of years ain't easy. You've got the scrying component. You've got the ability to hire and or train and or equip various mercenaries. Possibly including other dragons or other dragon kin or other similar Draco types. You might have the ability to create a Dracolisk or some other hybrid creature at your disposal. You could even potentially dip into the undead end of things or the demon end of things and summon your own minions that are going to be 100% loyal. Because you're a dragon, you've got time to figure these. You've got the ability to create your own minions, and they are going to be super loyal. And they are going to so guard your lair for you and let you know when something is coming. And let you know when maybe there's some adventurers kind of sniffing around town asking about the dragon. And maybe if it's Dragonbane, you've got somebody posted up at the crossroads because you know that one specific profession has that treasure sniffing ability. And it's probably going to point right at the boss's lair if you're not careful. Yeah. Don't think that dragons that live for hundreds of years are going to be that easily fooled. We've got the scrying, we've got the lair, we've got the minions, and then there's the other thing, and that's combat tactics. Let's face it, you don't live for hundreds of years by making dumb choices in combat, because that ain't gonna fly. Most dragons aren't going to live 7 levels underneath a dungeon and expect nothing bad to happen to them, especially, again, going back to that whole one way in, one way out thing. No. They are going to want to fight out in the open. And whether that be outdoors, whether that be in a very large open cavern, they are going to want some place, or at least 90% of dragons are going to want some place that they can take to the air. Because a dragon in the air is way more dangerous than a dragon on the ground most of the time. Think about that, because they can hoot fire, or whatever their breath weapon is, down onto the ground, especially, those dragons with those poison gas weapon attacks. Yeah, y'all D&D fans know what I'm talking about. I know you do. Where they can hoot that poison gas or that acid down onto the group, and there ain't nothing the group can do about it, because by the time they get a bow raised up in the air to shoot, their bowstrings being eaten away by acid, or they're too busy choking to see what they're doing. Yeah, my dragons aren't all that warm and fuzzy, and I don't care what campaign I'm running. The other thing is dragons can cast spells. Nobody said they couldn't cast while flying. I mean, their little dragon hands are perfectly capable of using somatic components. They're perfectly capable of using verbal components. They're perfectly capable of eschewing magical or material components. At least I would imagine so. They're dragons. They are made of magic, basically. They can cast from the air. And trust me, that ain't going to be pleasant when there are spells just raining down on the party. Again, from an altitude where the melee fighters can only cry about it, unless they can fly, in which case there can't be that many of them. And one of the first things the dragon's going to do is go, oh, you're flying. Well, guess that makes you a threat. We'll have to do something about that real quick. Zorch beam blast. Zot kaboom. Then, you've got all those pesky archers and stuff down on the ground. Well, let's see. We can put them to sleep. We can gas them out. We can get them with the old anti-life spell. There's ways and ways on top of ways of getting rid of them. They can summon in more minions. I know there's probably plenty of dragons that can do that, because again, they're hovering in the air. You gotta worry about what they summon, unless it can fly. And evil dragons, especially in Dungeons and Dragons, I don't put it past an evil dragon to summon demons or devils or some other nasty McNasty to do their bidding for them. Especially because the dragon, when the battle's over, we don't have to worry about what we summon. We just fly away. Who cares? And eventually it's going to disappear anyway. Or just command whatever it is to go back wherever it came from. And if it doesn't want to go, well, still a dragon. Could still probably take care of it. If you play the dragon smart, the dragon has very few worries. We've got combat tactics in place. We've got minions. We've got a lair that is escapable. Because again, finding a dragon on the ground asleep should be pretty monumental. That shouldn't even be a thing, really. Because they tend to want to stay alive, and that's going to mean not making silly mistakes like taking a nap on top of their treasure pile. some hobbit with an invisibility ring might sneak in and find out everything there ever is to know about them. That whole thing where the dragon's missing that one scale up front, that if you hit it in just the right spot with a crossbow attack or a ballista attack, that the dragon's going to drop, yeah, that ain't happening, guys. Come on, let's be smart about that. Your dragon's got access to all kinds of magic, healing, potions. If nothing else, he can grab a metal shield and just jam it where the scale was and good to go. That dragon can regenerate, guys. Come on. That thing's not going to sit there and just walk around with a big old hole in its armor where it can just die. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Dragons are smart. They are very smart. In fact, they are smarter than most humanoids. So, with that in mind, the dragon's not just going to leave some vulnerability exposed for the entire world to find out about. Now, that's not saying that there isn't a mental and a social aspect to dragons. There's the mental component. And again, dragons, really, really smart. There's just certain things they aren't going to let slide. They know better. If they can go into town disguised as an elf and trick the party into attacking their rival, for example, dragon's probably going to do that. Because, I mean, why not? I wouldn't put most dragons, especially in D&D, above bribing, negotiating, maybe even giving away some loot, or maybe giving away a map to some loot, even if it doesn't happen to actually lead to anything. Don't put it above a dragon to negotiate, bribe, beg, borrow, steal, lie, especially lie, because, again, humans ain't that smart. We'll pull a quick one over on them. They ain't going to know the difference. So, there's the mental aspect. Again, dragons, really, really smart. Okay, I imagine a lot of times they probably trick other creatures into doing their own dirty work for them. And that brings us around to the social aspect. Dragons, by their very nature, are social creatures. They are charismatic creatures. They are social animals. They are so slick, even without magic, they can sell ice to Eskimos. They will talk you out of your own clothing if you let them. And that's why I say, and I have said many times, not on this channel necessarily, but elsewhere, I have said many times before, dragons make the best big bad evil villain types outside of liches and those other copyrighted IP monsters in D&D that I can't talk about. The big thing with dragons is, again, they've got all these defenses around them. There's no reason anything should be attacking them directly, and if something does get in that far, the dragon should be able to escape, because it really does take a lot of effort to get into a dragon's lair. You've got the fact that the dragon is constantly playing 20 games of mental chess on the battlefield before the adventurers even get there, and chances are he's going to know exactly what they're going to do before they do. In Game Master terms, real quick, we'll just kind of spin that around. In Game Master terms, real quick, what it means is, as a Game Master, as a Dungeon Master, etc., hopefully you know your party well enough to kind of have an idea what they're going to throw at you. It doesn't always work perfectly, but hopefully that knowledge can be imparted into the dragon, even though maybe there's no in-character reason other than the fact that the dragon is super intelligent. So you got the intelligence aspect, and then you got the social aspect. The dragon is always going to have, I mean, even if you as a game master aren't super charismatic, or even if the players aren't super charismatic, that dragon is super charismatic. One other thing I forgot to mention with the intelligence component, and I want to kind of bring this back up real fast. Dragons are going to live for hundreds and hundreds of years, right? That can play into their thinking. Because, yeah, there might be an elf in the party, there might be a dwarf in the party, whatever, they're going to live a little longer. But those humans, those hobbits, or halflings, whatever you want to call them, those guys ain't going to be around as long. Longevity, many people know, dragons know that eventually those adventurers are going to give up and go home, simply by attrition, age, old age, and so on. So unless the elf is going to come back with a brand new fresh party in 100 years, all you got to do is bide your time. Hide, run away, fly away, because, again, in some cases, burrow away, whatever you got to do, just get the adventurers to leave you alone for 100 years. Done. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.